Socioeconomic consequences that are visible in the Anthropocene also characterize the impact of human activity on this planet. Well, the population increase, we already talked about that. We are now about 7.8, nearly 8 billion people on this planet, right? Used to be below 1 billion around 1800. And you see that especially from 1950, the rate of increasing is getting exponential, right? And there is this what we call the population explosion on a global scale starting 1950, onset of the Anthropocene. The urban population is increasing massively since 1950. This had economic and sociological reasons, of course. By the end of 2019, more than half of the population on this planet was living in major urban areas. Yeah, so more than ever before. And then there are other parameters, economic parameters. Fertilizer consumption for agriculture is going up since 1950 massively. Water use, of course, is going up, the formation of dams. But then there is interesting parameters as well, like the number of McDonald's restaurants. Yeah. Oh, well, there was no McDonald's before 1950, but starting then, it was going up massively. And until 2000, there were more than 30,000 McDonald's restaurants. As is an expression of the Anthropocene. Let's face it. Tourism. People didn't travel really before 1950, but then they really started doing that. So tourism is a phenomenon of the Anthropocene. We had the massive fossil fuel usage increase since 1950. Yeah, so the use of fossil fuel for energy generation. Yeah, you see that again the population curve development, but then also the usage of fossil fuel. Then before 1920, about that, people only used coal, and before that only biomass like peat, yeah, for burning, for making fire in the hearth, right? Then they started exploring and producing oil and gas, and this are still the major, together with coal, the major energy suppliers until today. But all depending on fossil fuel. Now the renewable energies are getting more important, luckily. Yeah. Also nuclear energy is playing a role here. So this is what we see, especially from 1950. You see that also this fossil fuel burning is having an exponential increase since 1950. There has been a massive impact on the sedimentary cycles as well. So mankind moves more sediment than all natural processes combined. That's quite a statement, isn't it? To give you only some impressions, so mining in total, mining, everything we mine, including coal, ore, and so on, we move a total of 13 gigatons, billion tons, right, per year of sediment, of materials, because of mining of rocks. 8 million of which are only moved because of coal mining. More than 2 million is for ore mining. In the United States of America alone, there's more than 500,000 of abandoned mines. Yeah, so mines out of use, which still, in many cases, possess some hazardous potential. So some pollution may be associated with these abandoned mines. We drilled 54 million kilometers of oil drillings. Yeah, so all the drillings in a row, set in a row, that we did for oil exploration and production and so on, this is equal to the distance between the Earth and Mars. It's enormous. Dam building in the United States of America, you see these here. Yeah, so we talked about dam building. These is impacts on the sedimentary cycle, but also on the water cycle, of course. Every little blue point is a dam, yeah, somewhat damming a flowing river. And there's so many. Terracing of hill slopes. This is terraforming. Yeah, this is done for rice production, for example, for doing agriculture in hilly, slopy area at all. But it's a massive transformation of the surface, isn't it? And this is even more impactful, I think, and more, this is quite ridiculous even, I think, in Dubai, in United Arab Emirates, they are they are putting up artificial islands, yeah, artificial earth deposits. So they're taking sand and they are really producing new islands from that having a certain shape. Yeah. 3 gigatons of material have been moved for this beautiful, or yeah, for this piece of engineering, let's call it like that.